Do you ever have that weird feeling that you're just watching your own life? Almost like there's the real you in the background, and then there's your body, your thoughts, your feelings, all out there doing their thing. Well, today we're going to dig into a really old idea from the Bhagavad Gita, but we're going to frame it for our world. Think of it as a user's guide to yourself, exploring this relationship between you, the operator, and your body, the machine.
All right, let's just jump right into the deep end, with the one question most of us try really hard not to think about: death. What actually happens when this incredible machine that we live in, our body, just stops working for good? It's the ultimate hardware failure. And that fear, well, it's pretty essential to being human, isn't it?
So the Gita hits this question head-on with a pretty radical answer. It basically says that the you we're talking about, the operator, wasn't born when your body was, and it doesn't die when your body dies. This core self, it says, is eternal. It's always been here. So when the body is slain, the operator isn't. Now that is a bold claim, so let's actually break down what that could possibly mean.
And that brings us to the first big idea, the main metaphor for this whole explainer. It's simple, but it's powerful. You are the operator, not the machine.
So what's the difference here? Well, the machine is basically everything that changes. It's your physical body, your thoughts that come and go, your emotions, the different roles you play, like being a parent or an artist. That's all the hardware. But the operator is that constant sense of I that's just watching it all happen. It's the witness. It's the consciousness that's actually using the machine.
Just think about your own life for a second. The you at age 5, the you at 18, and you right now. Physically, you are a completely different person. Literally, every cell in your body has been replaced over and over again. This simple fact really nails the point. The machine has had tons of updates and new versions. But that feeling of me, that awareness that's been experiencing everything the whole time, that's been constant. That's the operator.
And that's the key takeaway right there. The hardware, your body, it upgrades, it changes. The software, your mind, it learns and matures. But the operator, the one behind the controls, that's always been you. Okay, so if we're on board with this operator idea, let's take it and apply it to that big, scary challenge we started with: death itself.
Krishna gives this beautiful and honestly really practical metaphor. He says death isn't some terrifying end. It's just like changing your clothes. When your favorite shirt gets old and ripped, you don't have a total existential crisis, right? You just take it off. The body, from this point of view, is exactly the same. It's just a temporary outfit for the operator.
So this gives us a totally new way to define death. It's not the end of you. It's just the operator logging off from this one particular computer for good. The operator keeps going, but this specific hardware setup, this body, this life is over.
Now, we've talked about separating the operator from the physical body, but what about all the stuff we identify with in our minds? Let's try peeling back some of the labels we're all clinging to.
I'm going to ask you a simple question, and I want you to just notice the very first answer that pops into your head. Ready? Who are you?
Okay, maybe your name came to mind. I'm Shivani. But is a name who you are, or is it just a label? A sound that people use to get your attention? It's not really the essence of you.
Let's try again. Let's go a little deeper. Who are you really?
So maybe this time you thought of your job. I'm a yoga teacher, or an engineer, or a doctor. But again, that's a role you play. It's something you do. It's not who you fundamentally are.
All right, let's do this one more time. Forget the name, forget the job. What is left? Who are you? Perhaps you landed on a relationship. You're a daughter, a father, a friend, and those connections are, of course, incredibly important, but they define you in relation to somebody else. They're still external.
So what is left when you strip all of that away? The operator. The quiet, constant awareness that is experiencing being a person with that name who does that job and has that relationship. That is the real you.
I know this can all sound pretty philosophical, but this is where it becomes incredibly practical. Why does it even matter if you're the operator? Well, let's look at how powerful this shift in perspective can be in your actual day-to-day life. This is something a student said once during a really tough divorce, and it's just heartbreaking because it's so common. This person had so completely identified with the role of wife that it felt like her whole identity was being deleted when that role ended. She forgot that she was the operator, not the program she was running.
And this right here is the whole game. Look at the difference. When you have an attached identity, you say, I am a failure. The experience defines you. But with an operator identity, you create a little bit of space. You say, I am the operator who is experiencing failure. Suddenly, failure and heartbreak aren't who you are. They're just weather patterns the machine is passing through. A role can change, but the I remains.
And this all leads us to the biggest takeaway, the core message of this whole philosophy. The idea that there is a part of you that is constant and completely unchanging. The Gita uses this really powerful, almost poetic language to describe this operator, the real you. It says, it can't be cut by a sword, can't be burned by fire, can't be withered by the wind. Basically, it can't be touched by anything physical. It's eternal. It's constant. It is the one single thing in your entire life that cannot and will not ever change. So, what's the point of knowing this? What do you get? In a word, freedom. Real freedom. It's the ability to go out and live your life, to love, to create, to fight for things, without being absolutely terrified and consumed by the outcome. Because no matter what happens, victory, defeat, praise, criticism, you know deep down that the operator, the real you, remains untouched. And that, of course, leaves us with one last huge and maybe kind of unsettling question. If you, the operator, are eternal and indestructible, then why bother? Why does any of this matter at all? Well, that question, that's the bridge from understanding who you are to understanding what on earth you're supposed to do. But that is a story for another time.